Yo, for kids, this is day 138 of me playing chess every day until I reach the rapid rating of 2500. So here we go. We have the game, we have the black pieces, we are playing against a strong 21-60 rated opponent. He plays into the London system, let's play c5 of course, c3 knight c6 I think, knight f6 of course, nothing special, knight f3 is one of the ways. Now we could play queen b6, we can also take, which I actually like, taking. I like taking. Oh, he takes like this. Yeah, this is way too symmetrical for my expertise. I was trying to get the Caro-Kann structure. If e takes back happens, then I'm pretty happy with the Carlsbad, with the classical Carlsbad position. Um, but I guess this won't happen now that he played c takes on d4. But still, we have a game. We have a game. Let's play bishop b6 actually. I am relying on the fact that my knight is more active than this knight on d2. That's pretty much all that I have. Um, we can take actually. If pawn takes knight d7, I'm happy. Knight f3. And I go maybe check. You have some hard time defending that. If you have to take with the bishop, I just take back and go here. So I take actually. I like this. You probably have to take with the pawn, but knight d7 and because knight f3 I go check. I mean, and knight c5, and my knights are active. I also want to trade the queens now that this pawn is a long-term weakness. Um, maybe some h5, g4, g5, and g4 ideas winning the pawn. Queen c3 is there as well, but I just go queen c7 or maybe queen b8 even. Check. Very logical move. Queen c3, he trades out the queens, which is... I would say this is a insane idea to do that. I feel like now we should have much better position. After h6, g5, g4 is an idea. We can castle and bring the rook to b8. With this idea, yes, I feel like castling rook b8 and knight c5 works like a charm for me. But now we play h6 and g5 and g4 winning the pawn. Okay, this is one of the ways to defend against it. Okay. I like a6, b5. I'm playing quickly. Why? Well, there is nothing to think about. This, you had to bring the other rook, I think. Now that c3 pawn is just... a4, I just play rook b8 takes and I take. And play for b4. This, I mean, I'm better in this endgame with the black pieces out of the London system. I cannot wish for way more. So, I get my knight to c5. G4 is interesting. I'm not sure what it actually does. We could play g5. I think that's slightly risky. We can also just bring the rook to c8, piling on the pressure. Knight c5, knight e4. We can go here, I think. I mean, we can go knight c5 as well, and knight a4. I like this idea, maybe even going here. Maybe. I don't think that's great, but maybe. Maybe we can do that, yes, now. Now I think this is the best time to do it, because rook c2 loses the game. Wait, here I even take. What is he doing? Knight c6, I take. No, knight e7. Here I have to take. But even then, rook c2, I just double up, yes. I think you have to take my knight. Okay. You're giving me this? Why would you do that? I mean, you're giving me this, excuse me. I can also take like this, by the way. By the way, this is some typical stuff, actually. I think taking like this is better. I'm just winning now, I think. This will probably be a very short game. My opponent is playing way too quickly. I can just take, I think. Back with the knight. The c3 pawn is weak. I win the game. Yes, okay. I take. Yes, maybe I should have done it the other way. I should have played um knight back takes because I missed bishop g3 actually. Not the best, not the best, not the worst either. I think takes is reasonable. A4 I can probably even take. Probably. I'm not sure though. This allows me to go here. I think that's great for me. You cannot defend knight f3. If you go back, I take the pawn. And then I even go knight f3 or something. When knight here even. I'm up 3 pawns now if you move the knight, so I think this is actually just reasonable. My knights defend each other, so that well works like a charm. Um, there should be some tactic here. Like something, I can smell something in the air with these forks, but there is nothing actually. Still feel like taking is correct. Knight c3. I just go back. I mean, am I stupid or something? Why did I blunder this? I'm stupid. But I'm saved by a tactic actually. Here I have here. I mean takes yes, but then I take and I win. Because of the pawns. Not ideal for me to blunder this, but um crazy. I definitely didn't see this coming. But just because but I have here as well. No, I don't have. What am I doing? I might be also just losing. What am I doing? Ay. I shouldn't have played like that. Knight c3, I think he has. No, he doesn't. I just take, and go here. And we defend each other. Knight c3 takes. Yes, he goes for this, but this is just losing, I think, for him. I'm up 2 pawns. I'm up 3 pawns actually. Okay. Stopping the penetration, I can go here. I could as well just push, I think. Rook b1, I just no, I don't push. A5 now. Oh, what's the idea? If I go here, how do stopping this? I just go here. I'm not sure how he will stop this. I don't think he actually does. I think it's losing now for him. Maybe it was lost the whole. I mean, it's hard to play against 3 extra pawns, even though you have 2 pieces. For the rook, which should be slight advantage. What's the idea? To go here, but I go here? I go even here. Resignable. I mean, I'm threatening this. Knight b3, but I go a4, so... That's what I think is gonna happen actually. And then resignation. Yes, it was a okay game. I then blundered my piece, but unfortunately I had a tactic, and I also had way too much pawns for him to just be able to get out with two minor pieces against the rook and the three pawns on the king on the queen side. They all are kind of passed. I guess the d5 pawn is not passed because there is an e3 pawn blocking it. But yes, you cannot fight two connected outside passed pawns with only two pieces against the rook. Rook will always win. They can just go up and the rook moves forward and you make a new queen and you win the game. So yes, I will cut into the video when the next move happens. So my opponent finally made a move. He played knight to b3 as I predicted, I think. Now simply a4, I think, wins. We cannot be oh, but maybe you go here actually. But then I go here and your rook is trapped because I go here and I go here and make a queen and I'm up in exchange there and I win the game. So knight here, I think, yes. I can also go just here and then here. Actually, any move wins now. Probably going here makes some sense. King e2, and I go here, and I win the game. The rook is trapped, and if you take me, I make a queen. I mean, the rook is lost. Very funny, by the way. How the rook is actually suffocated. It cannot take my rook because I make a queen, and you cannot defend your rook. So yes, this is just game over. Oh, I could wait. Yes, okay, he resigns, but I could also just before we analyze the game, I can also make a queen here. You are pinned, and if you take, I take. But okay, let's analyze the game now. So this is the game review of the game I just played. I played very solidly with 94.4% accuracy. My opponent played less accurate with 82 only. So let's see. He played d4, I responded with d5, and he played the London system. So now I strike like a principal says in the center, d and the c pawn are the best friends, and black is equal. Now c3 was okay. Knight c6, of course. e3, knight f3. Now knight f3, and the best move in the position I know for a fact is queen b6, but I don't like queen b6 and all the drama. I just take here, which is not the best move. I thought he will play e takes d4, going into a kind of Caro-Kann-ish structure with bishop f5, let's say bishop d3, bishop d3, queen d3, and e6 and castles. We can reach this position with e4, c6, d4, d5, and the exchange caro. You can see the difference. I mean the pawn structure which happens. There are 4 pawns on the queen side, only 3 for black, and yes, it's quite similar as the Caro-Kann, but he took with the c pawn, which gave me okay position. I played bishop f5, which is a mistake apparently. Knight h5 was better, or queen b6. Queen b6 is a logical move actually. Yes, I should have played that. But bishop d3 I took, and now e6 and castles. Oh no, knight bd2, excuse me. Bishop b6, knight e5, and I took actually. I thought my position was great here. I like to take here a lot, and if pawn takes, which I think was a mistake, knight d7, of course you have to play knight f3 now, and I simply go check. And I thought he might play queen d2, and I thought I might even take and play for like h6, g5, g4, or rook g8 and g5. But yet he made a mistake with queen to c3. This gives me time to take, and now this pawn is weak, and I will just play a6, b5. This is very easy game for me. I castled castles for white, h6 with an idea of g5 if you do nothing, rook c1, let's say. Then g5, g4 here, and g4 I think is an idea to win the pawn here. Maybe it's not the best idea, but it is an idea to win, to transpose your material, your positional advantage into a material one. So h3 was played instead. I played a6, okay move, and now I played b5. This was the idea of a6 to push with b5. g4, I played rook c8, knight c5. I got knight d3, and I took here. Probably taking with this knight was slightly better, but okay, I took with the c knight. Bishop g3, rook takes on c3 is the only move. Why? Otherwise, f4 happens and I lose. Okay, so rook c3, knight e2, and now rook c2. king e1, and I slightly missed the idea of white. After rook takes on c2, rook takes on a2, excuse me, which is to push f4. But I'm just winning. Even knight f3 wins. Rook d3 and knight d2, which I missed as well, but okay. This fork idea. I played knight b2, however, attacking. I thought he has knight c3, but he doesn't have knight c3 because takes, and I can take with a check, and then I go to d5 and all to c5 to c4, and all my pieces are defended. I'm up 4 pawns and I win the game. So here he took back and I took the rook, and this is the resulting position. He has 2 mana pieces for the rook and 4 pawns, and I have a rook for 2 mana pieces for 1, 2, 3 pawns, which is just a decisive material advantage. Rook c8 just activating the rook, and I started pushing my pawns. And here a4 and simply rook c1 wins. Now after king to e2, I could have made a queen because you are pinned, you cannot take, and if you take, I take. But instead I played rook to a1 and my opponent simply resigned. So this was the game for today. I am at the rapid rating of 2152, which I think is my highest rapid rating ever. So yes, I'm very happy. This game was pretty much perfect. I made few inaccurate moves, but otherwise I played fantastically. If you have any questions about the game, please feel free to write them down in the comments below. I will be reading and answering all of your comments. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help me out. And see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.